OSU Studios in Oklahoma City. This is an OSU update with Kyle Fredrickson. I'm Jenny Carlson. Kyle, Josh Furman is a guy that we saw make a couple big plays the last time the Cowboys were on the field, and 3 or 4 months ago, we couldn't have picked him out of any roster. Here he comes, playing great for the Cowboy defense. Another one of those post-graduation transfers making an impact on the defense like Tyler Patman a year ago. What's the background? How did he end up getting from Michigan to Oklahoma State?
It's an interesting story, and like you had said, coming into the year, we really didn't know what this guy's role was going to be. We knew that linebacker depth was stripped, and we knew that Glenn Spencer had a lot of good things to say about him, but this is a guy at Michigan who appeared in 30-some games and only wound up with about 29 tackles. He was a reserve. He played a little bit of safety and was mostly special teams. So like I said, we didn't know what to expect coming in, and then he's definitely made an instant impact. And when we look back at Furman's Michigan career, it's interesting because there's no real clear answer to why he didn't get playing time. But when Furman was brought in 2010, that was the final year of Rich Rodriguez's reign at Michigan. So Brady Hoke comes in the next year with a new defensive staff. And then in 2012, Furman was actually indefinitely suspended for a short time. He faced some assault charges that were eventually dropped. So that definitely didn't help his transition into the scheme of things. And without those reps, he came to the point where he was a redshirt junior and was still fighting for a spot in the depth chart. And so according to Glenn Spencer, he gets an email from Furman one day just saying, hey, I see you guys need some players on defense. I'd be willing to transfer. And, here we are today. Furman's already been a very important part of this defense.
Well, you talk about the email that popped up in Glenn Spencer's inbox. I mean, Tyler Patman, when he transferred a year ago, he transferred onto a defense that already had a ton of talent. Josh Furman's situation's different. The Cowboy defense, they really needed some bodies. He's been more than a body. He's really a big contributor. For sure.
I don't know that Furman would have had this opportunity had there not been so many shakeups on this linebacking core entering the year. So Glenn Spencer kind of had his hand forced to give him playing time so early. But he really fits that star position well that Sean Lewis vacated, because he comes in with experience at defensive back and safety, but he's also not afraid to run downhill and put a hit on a guy. And that's exactly what you need in kind of that hybrid role. We saw last week Furman had 2 sacks, the first 2 of his career, in the same game. So you really like the energy he's brought out there, and all of his teammates said that his transition's been pretty seamless into this scheme. But at the same time, like Glenn Spencer says about all these young guys, or any new guy on the roster, a lot to be seen, a lot more improvement, especially with some Big 12 defenses coming down here.
Well, and you mentioned the Big 12. Now it starts for the Cowboys with Texas Tech on a Thursday night. The spread offenses that have become known far and wide in the Big 12. Does the challenge change for Josh Furman and maybe this defense a little more broadly facing those spreads?
Absolutely, and I think tempo is going to be another issue as well, because when you're looking at UTSA and Missouri State, those aren't guys that are really going to keep the ball moving and get those as many snaps off as we're going to see against Tech. And Furman's going to have a lot more coverage responsibility, because we all know Tech loves to air it out. But like I said, he's in a good position to succeed with his past history. But until the lights come on Thursday, it'll be hard to say. All
right, somebody to watch. Thanks. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.
Sweet.